A black winter sky presses over Paris. Below it, a city is sealed by enemy lines. Above it, one fragile balloon waits like a last door out. You are not boarding a machine. You are stepping into a basket tied to cloth, rope, and hope, with no engine and no true way to steer. Behind you, Paris is starving under siege. Roads are blocked. Rails are cut. Messages cannot pass through the ring of soldiers on the ground. So the city does something almost unbelievable. It turns the sky into a road. These were not romantic fairground flights. They were gas-filled balloons launched because every ordinary escape route had failed. The first successful balloon mail flight left Paris on September 23, 1870. After that, the idea became a system, dangerous, improvised, and one-way. One-way is the part your body understands immediately. Once the rope is cut, Paris drops away, and the wind becomes your pilot. There is no map that can save you from bad air. No will to turn away from enemy fire. No break for the moment the ground comes too fast. Below you are German lines, guns, pickets, camps, roads, and men who know that the balloon above them may be carrying news out of Paris. If the balloon rises too low, it may drift close enough to be seen, tracked, and fired on. If it rises too high, the cold becomes another enemy. You feel the basket shift under your boots. The wicker creaks. Every sandbag is now a decision between altitude and survival. Throw too much weight, and you climb into harsher cold. Throw too little, and the balloon may sink toward fields filled with enemies. In Paris, balloon workshops grew inside stations like Gare du Nord and Gare d'Orléans. The city was not just waiting. It was manufacturing escape. But speed did not make the flight safe. Many launches had to happen under pressure, with weather judged quickly and military need pressing harder than caution. A balloon could carry letters, dispatches, sometimes passengers. It could also carry the fear of an entire city in one fragile basket. Imagine the sound at launch: rope fibers tightening, canvas breathing, people shouting through cold air, then suddenly, the ground letting go. For a few seconds, escape feels like triumph. Then the city becomes a map, and the map becomes a trap you cannot control. The pilot watches clouds, smoke, and flags for clues. The wind is the only road, and it does not care where the passenger needs to go. Some balloons landed safely in French territory. Others drifted dangerously, were captured, vanished, or came down far from where anyone expected. The worst danger is not always the enemy. It is the landing you cannot rehearse. A balloon does not land like a carriage. It scrapes, bounces, drags, and can slam the basket into fences, trees, roofs, or frozen earth. You may survive the sky and still fail in the field. The first person you meet after landing may be a farmer, a patrol, or the enemy. That uncertainty made every flight a gamble, not just on your courage, but on invisible currents moving above a city at war. On October 7, 1870, Leon Gambetta left Paris by balloon to continue resistance from outside the besieged capital. The flight became one of the most famous escapes of the siege. But fame does not make wicker stronger. A famous passenger still has the same rope, the same wind, the same empty space under his feet. If you are inside that basket, politics becomes physical. National survival becomes the weight of your lungs, your hands, and your nerve. Paris below is not an abstract capital. It is people waiting for bread, messages, news, orders, and proof that the city has not disappeared from France. The balloon carries that proof. It turns mail into a survival tool. A letter might tell a family someone is alive. A dispatch might move an army. A pigeon basket might bring words back into the city after the balloon is gone. The sky becomes a battlefield without trenches. There is no cover above the siege line. The enemy tries to adapt. If balloons become a weapon of communication, then stopping them becomes part of the war. Even when shots miss, fear enters the basket. You cannot duck behind wood. You cannot outrun a bullet. You can only keep drifting. Then comes the cold. At altitude, the air cuts through coats, gloves, and confidence. Your breath turns white. Your fingers lose feeling. The same height that keeps you safe from soldiers begins to drain strength from your body. If clouds close around you, Paris disappears. The enemy disappears. Even direction disappears. Now survival is patience. Do not panic. Do not waste ballast. Do not pretend you can command the wind. The pilot reads small signs. A change in drift, a tear in the cloud, smoke rising from a village, the angle of fields below. Every sign matters because the balloon cannot choose a road. It can only choose height. That is the brutal logic of balloon survival. Up or down, lighter or heavier, wait or descend. Open the valve too soon, and you may fall into enemy territory. Wait too long, and darkness may hide the ground until it is too late. Night makes every choice worse. A field can hide a ditch. A village can hide soldiers. A calm patch of land can turn into a violent drag. The basket begins to descend. The wind does not soften. The ground does not move aside. You brace your knees. You grip the side. You hope the wicker holds. The first strike may not end it. The balloon can bounce, lift, drag, and throw every object in the basket against you. If the anchor catches, you stop. If it fails, the field becomes another sky, only closer and more violent. And when the basket finally rests, silence may be more frightening than the flight. You are alive, but you are not safe. Not yet. You need to know where you are, who controls the nearest road, and whether the letters in the basket will reach anyone at all. This is why the balloon flights were more than stunts. They were survival logistics built under siege. Across the siege, dozens of balloons left Paris, carrying passengers and tons of mail beyond the German lines. The operation was daring, but never clean. Some flights went wrong. Some landed far away. The wind turned planning into probability. For the people below, every departure was a risk. For the people inside, every second above the siege was a test of helplessness. Modern escape stories usually promise control. This one offers the opposite: surrender to physics. You can prepare ropes, gas, ballast, maps, and courage, but you cannot negotiate with wind. That is what makes the siege of Paris balloons so haunting. They were machines of hope built from materials that could fail in silence. A tiny leak, a bad gust, a mistaken landing, a patrol on the wrong road. Any one of them could turn escape into capture. And still, the flights continued because the alternative was isolation. When you look at the basket, it seems too small for history. But in 1870, history sometimes left Paris in wicker and rope. Inside it, you would feel every weakness: the thin wall of the basket, the cold air, the lack of control, the enemy beneath you. You would also feel why someone accepted the risk. A sealed city cannot breathe forever. The balloon was not freedom. It was a question thrown into the sky. Would the wind carry you to friendly ground, or into the hands of the army surrounding the city? Would the basket survive the landing? Would the messages survive the basket? Would you? By the time the siege ended in January 1871, the balloon flights had become one of the most remarkable lifelines of the trapped capital. They proved that a city cut off on the ground could still fight for a path through the air. But from inside the basket, none of that feels like invention. It feels like exposure. No engine, no armor, no road, just cloth, gas, rope, weather, and a decision made because staying trapped was worse. The past gives no mercy. Sometimes it gives only one impossible way out. So if you were sealed inside Paris in 1870, and the only road left was straight into the sky, would you climb into the basket? Could you survive this?